How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We've got a little bit of lead work to do today. We've got some chimney slates to make up. So we've got a little bit of burning, lead burning to do. Something a little bit different. I don't do an awful lot of it, to be honest with you. But I like to do the odd one here and there just to keep my eye in. I've actually been struggling the last few days with the heat. I think I caught a little bit of heat stroke. It's my own stupid fault for not drinking enough. But it's kind of infected me. I had to take a day off just because I couldn't open my eyes. It's just ridiculous. So yeah, it's my own stupid fault, but it'll teach me a lesson. So I'll get up on the roof in a minute when I find a little bit of energy, and we'll get them measured and we can start making them. So yeah, I'll show you around this place quickly. So this is just, I think it's a 4-bed house. It's hard to tell really, but it seems quite big. We will be back to first fix it obviously once it's all ready, but there's nobody on site today. I'm here completely on my own because obviously they reckon they can't get on until they get the chimneys finished. So I need to get these slates made. But I'll show you in a second anyway. So imagine this is probably going to be the kitchen. That looks like the utility room. What we've got in there, this is, I don't know what that is. A cupboard maybe. It doesn't look like a downstairs toilet because there's no drain in there, but it might be. We've got a second big living room, probably a log burner going in there, and like a sunroom I think. And then upstairs there'll be bedrooms and stuff. There's obviously no staircase in yet. Let's have a quick look upstairs. This will be a nice little job for us when we get here. It looks alright. So yeah, I've not seen the drawings or anything for this job yet, but this will be our job. But we'll get up on the roof and get the slates measured, and we'll get some lead burning done. Should be something a little bit different. What's the view looking like? Not too bad. I think they're going to make that into a bit of a pond or a lake where all them reeds are. I think they're going to dig all that out, so it should be quite nice. So this is the double chimney. What I've got to do is effectively make a piece of lead with an upstand, and we'll hang it over the edge about 2 inches. But I might make them as 2 singles and do like a lap joint in the middle. I'm not too sure yet. What I'll do is get it all measured up and we'll see what it sort of works out like. I won't fit these anyway. The brickies will build these in, so the bricks will trap. So our lead will sit there and then the bricks will trap on top. But at the minute we just need to get these made with an upstand, obviously whole upstand, and yeah, that'll do it. So I've bought a pen and paper. We've got a single one over there to do as well. So I'll get all these measured up as to where the holes need to be in the lead, and we'll go down and make them. I'll not make them up here. We'll make them in the garage probably, or somewhere out of the way, somewhere where it's nice and cool, and should be a nice easy job really. Right, I've took all my measurements now. Hopefully I've got some of these precast flue blocks on site, because it does make it a lot easier if you can make your lead around one. It just makes it more perfect. As I say, I'm not too sure if I'll do this in 2 halves yet. It's probably going to be a bit big to do in one, but I'll have a think about that anyway. I'll get the other one measured up and we'll go from there. So this one will be much more straightforward. We'll probably do this one first actually, just to get me back into the technique, and then we'll sort of figure out how we're going to do the other one. It's a little bit more complicated. But yeah, all we've got to do on this one is carry it over 2 inches. That's all they've asked for, and then the brickies will form that down to whatever they want. But all we need is a hole in the middle, upstand, lead across the base, job done. I've just cut myself a bit of lead to the right size. What I'll do is mark around this. What I might do is weld on top of this first, and then sometimes what I do is then attach that to that and then cut that out after. It really doesn't make any difference. It's just whatever's easiest really. But yeah, as I say, I don't do much of this, so my technique's probably going to be a little bit wrong, but hopefully the end result should be okay anyway. What I need to do is just try and tack that on. I'll prep the lead up and then we'll just go along and weld it all in then. Hopefully that should be alright. It should just give us a little overlap as well, if I've measured it right. I might not have done. And then I'll have to fold that back, and then we can fix that onto that other piece then. hopefully we should be alright. So it's a little while since we've done any burning, but once you've got the technique, it shouldn't be too bad. What I might do is have a little bit of practice on a scrap piece before I go on to this. What I need to do now is try and turn this lead down so it gives me a base so I can burn it onto the other piece of lead. So it's just a case of gently tapping it down with the lead dresser so it's nice and flat. Hopefully it should be alright. Make sure that's dressed nice and flat. Into there. And then we can just sit it on the lead and then we can just burn up around the side, and then I normally cut the hole out after. It's just how I always do it. It might be wrong, but as long as the end result's okay, it doesn't really matter how you do it. So we'll make sure that's nice. We'll make sure it still fits on the precast flue block, and that should be good then. If you're wondering what you used to weld with, it's just strips of lead cut off at about 3-4mm wide. So I generally cut myself off a load, get them all cleaned up, and then you're just sort of ready to go then. You don't have to keep stopping. So I'll probably cut a dozen or so, and then see how far that takes us. As I say, my welding's not the best, but it's acceptable. If I did a lot more of it, you'd become a lot quicker and a lot neater. I mean, it's fine, you know. It's just obviously I don't do it all the time. So you should end up with something that looks like that. So I just give them a quick scrape off, just clear any impurities off the lead, and that should be good to go. So they don't have to be perfect. Make yourself up enough just to keep you going. Right, prepped all the lead. I'm actually using this Rothenberger thing to burn with. It's not, to be honest with you, it's not very good. It's not as good as oxyacetylene. You can just about do a good enough job with it, but you can't really control your flame. Let me just see if I can do this quickly. Turn it on one-handed. Try not to set fire to the place. You can just about get a nice enough flame. Obviously you want like a needle. When it's a bit windy it's a bit more difficult. But yeah, that's what I'm using anyway. So obviously not as good as sort of oxyacetylene, but it will do this job. For the little bit that I do, it's perfect. But hopefully that should look alright. Just, as I say, we'll just burn around the bottom. And that's the first one made. I just need to think how I'm going to do the second one yet, but we'll cross that bridge in a minute. that's the first one all made up. I know my welding's not absolutely perfect, but I think it'll be fine. All it is practice, really. Once you sort of get it going, it's not too bad. It's just one or two bits could have been a little bit better. It kind of is what it is. It'll be absolutely perfect. You know, there's nothing really wrong with it. It just doesn't look the neatest. But that'll be fine. So I'll start work on the second one now. And I'll just sit down 5 minutes. I've actually been not feeling brilliant the last few days, to be honest with you. I think it's just the heat. I think Friday just completely like zonked me out, and then Saturday I was all right in the morning, but I just had a massive headache. And then Sunday I had like strobing in my eyes. So you know sometimes when you first wake up in the morning and you can't open your eyes, it was just like that. So there's no way I could drive on Monday. It kind of is what it is. Sometimes you just have to have a day off. I don't like taking days off, but when you're not well, you're not well. So I think half the time is because I don't stop. You know, I don't stop for breaks or anything. It's just you just crack on, and it eventually catches up with you because you can't sustain that or maintain it. But today's a pretty chill day. Luckily, it's quite sheltered in here, so we're in the shade. It is quite warm outside. It's probably not quite 30 degrees, but it must be getting on for that. So yeah, we're just having a chill day. Just say I'll start work on this second one in a minute, and hopefully we'll get these done. That's them all made. Hopefully that keeps the bricklayers happy. I think I'm about going to call it a day today. Let me just spin the camera around. So I'm still feeling the effects of a little bit of heat stroke, I think. I'm not too sure. The sun's actually gone in a little bit now, which is good. It was getting a bit hot. I think next week's going to get up to like 36. Well, supposedly, so they say, but whether it does. I personally hate the heat. I can't be dealing with it. But anyway, if you did enjoy this video, I know it was a little bit different to normal, but we'll be back doing normal plumbing. I have got a load of stuff saved, I just need to find time to sort of sit down and edit it all. But if you did enjoy the video, make sure you hit the like button. If you didn't, hit the dislike button. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. And yeah, thank you all for watching.